Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. It's Friday, so it's my PowerPoint presentation. For those of you who knew, this is what I used to do to the Yoga Circle from 1985 till 2018. Well, here we go. Let's add this presentation literacy, and I'll run through it quickly. First thing, these are teachings you find both in the East and in the West. The symbols are different, but the purport is the same. Are you a new soul, having the cosmic stuff poured into you, and then you're born again? Or you're an old soul, coming in with the previous knowledge? Like Plato said, all we can do is try to bring remembrance, that our soul gets distracted by the senses at birth, and then we forget who we really are and what we came here to do. So that's the first thing. There's a cosmic connection here. Something's being poured into us. And what is it? Well, for me, it's the experience of the transcendent mystery. What is this all about? Nobody knows. Anybody's guess is as good as anybody else. And no matter how much science has unraveled, there's still so much we don't know. 99% of the universe is dark matter, they say. But symbols are adult toys, and we play with them. Don't get hung up on final interpretations. No one has the absolute right answer. There are many, many answers, and the transcendent is beyond all those answers. So play with the tools, play with the toys, play with the symbols, but don't get too attached to them. Now, in the Jewish tradition, they say it's not enough to carry out the commandments. If you don't carry out the mitzvahs or the good deeds with joy, you're like a husk, a dry leaf. You're doing the formal part of it, but you're not getting the neshama, the soul of the teaching. So whatever you do, bring joy to it. Now, I love this. Thank you, creative perception, for giving me all the drama I need in my life without even talking to people. Yeah, stuck in your own head, stuck in your own narrative. So each one of us has a creative way of perceiving ourselves in life, but do we utilize it? All right, so here's one of the teachings I always talk about. What's the difference between fact, simile, and metaphor? Well, fact is something you can just absolutely verify. If they say there's a new lion cub at the zoo, you don't have to believe anybody. Go down to the zoo and see, is there a lion cub? And say, oh, good, it's a fact. There is a lion cub there. Right, but the next thing is you wake up one morning and you've had a dream and you just feel so energized and you say, I am the Lion of Judah. I had a cup of Kodiak roast this morning and I feel like a lion in my own. That's a simile. You're likening one thing to another, a human being to a lion. They're not the same. But then in metaphor, that's where you're not only making a comparison, liking, as if one thing is like another thing. Life is like a bowl of cherries, really? No, it's a metaphor. It's a simile. But the metaphor is where you identify with it. I get up one day and say, I am the Lion of Judah. Not just I feel like a lion, I am the Lion of Judah. And in the metaphoric world, in the court of metaphor, they can't disprove it, even if you can't prove it. And so that's the world of making your spiritual life real. All right, so we move on from there. I love this, Meister Eckhart, where I've taken my name from. The moral task of man is the process of spiritualization. All creatures are go-betweens, and we are placed in time by that diligence in spiritual business we may grow liker and nearer to God. The aim of man is beyond the temporal, in the serene region of the everlasting present. So he says the ultimate leave-taking is leaving God for God, leaving all your concepts, leaving all the conditionings, all the images that have been given to you. Let that go, and then you'll find what they call the ansila anime, the spark of spirit, which isn't anybody else's version. Now, one of the things that's ritual initiation is supposed to do for all indigenous people is to break the childhood attachment, the umbilical cord to your parents and to dependency. Because if you have any kind of solicitousness on the part of your parents towards you when you were young, you're like, you think the whole world is brought to nod, and that every nod and shriek on your part brings the world to heel. And the world is not just there for you, to revolve around you. That would be narcissistic grandiosity. So it's hard to mold this recalcitrant cookie dough that we all have been conditioned to be. No one wants to change. Everybody should just bow down, bend the knee, and kiss my ring. But if you're going to grow into be a spiritual elder and accept the healthy aspect of your grandiosity, that someone recognizes you have stuff to strut, and you should show it to everybody. Otherwise, you're going to have some kind of depression. Even depression is a kind of reaction against your own grandiosity. So you have to learn to shift from left brain to right brain. Here's one of the old, depending on which way you look at it. It's either a chalice from one way, and on the other way, it's like two lips, two people looking like they're about to kiss, puckering up. Notice how you can shift your gaze from one to the other? That's what you have to do with your perception. And both exist at the same time. Don't get hooked on either one, but notice how you can shift and make one more prominent. So we say superiority, inferiority complex versus ordinariness is the defense against grandiosity. You think like you're just one of the other sheep? You know what they say? Behind every superiority complex is an inferiority complex, and behind every inferiority complex is a superiority complex. Right? Nobody here is ordinary. Nobody comes to live a small life. And so you defend yourself against accepting your own grandiosity, especially if you've been put down, shamed, told you're not good enough, you're not perfect, whatever it is. Oh, I like this, the stages of life, like the commitment to stages of life. Right? You stand up straight, you crawl, you walk, you're tall, you're bent over, you're burnt. Yeah, I say, you believe in Santa? You don't believe in Santa? You are Santa, and you look like Santa. I hope my belly is not that big. All right. But another Jewish concept here, tikkun olam, the healing and reparation of the broken heart of the world. We need all of us to do this. And although it seems like it's an overwhelming task, and if there's any alpha or omega point to this, it's in the future, it's not now. But our job is not to finish it. Our job is just to do our part and transmit to the next generation to the extent that we can be a burning candle. The lit candle lights the unlit candle. Go thou and pass it on. Oh, the Munchkins. I like this. How not to live a life of kvetch. You know what what annoys me? Congregants who arrive late to the service. Oh, you're just being kvetchy. And cell phones that run during services. Kvetch, kvetch, kvetch. Tickets for the high holidays. They turn you away. Oh, you're such a kvetch today. And right now, do you know what annoys me? Kvetchers. And you're kvetching. Gotta put up with everybody's kvetching, right? All right, so the Via Positiva, celebrate life, dance with it, the Lila, be like Shiva Nataraj, the cosmic dancer. But except there's also Via Negativa, nightmare of history, suffering, pain, darkness, death. You can't get rid of it. You have to embrace it. How do you embrace it? With the Via Creativa. Learn to outpicture what's within you, bring forth from within you what you have. And what do you have in within you? All the memories of the Via Positiva and the Via Negativa. That's where you draw your creativity. But it's a shallow spirituality unless you turn to the Via Transformativa. As Martin Luther King says, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Social justice and transformation for the whole society and eventually the world. Anything less than that, the narrow vision. So, in order to sustain that, because when you look out, your narrative sees all the things that are wrong, and yet Jesus reminds us with what they call realized eschatology. The kingdom is set before the sons and daughters of human beings, and people see it not. Spirit implores us to see it with open eyes for the miracle it is, and then it transforms the way you behave and what you want to do for the rest of your life. Now here are 10 reasons, thank you Barack, I love the Afro look. Here are 10 reasons why I know we're coming together, even though this happens over time. Number 1, the Beatles. All right, I'm prejudiced. All rock and roll as far as I'm concerned, but mostly all you need is love. I know it sounds naive, but how love would heal so many things. All right, feminism, women speaking up, all the Me Too voices, women fighting against their health rights being taken care of, women stepping into the public sphere, women being better educated, women not needing men in patriarchy, all that. God bless you, sisters. We need you, and we're going to follow you, and we're going to support you. Also, ecology crisis, the global thing that's affecting us all, even if there are deniers, the haters, the naysayers, we know what's going on, and we're working, and so many other people are working to help move us into a healthier place. Then the scientific awakening, so many things are happening. New discoveries every day, information, knowledge, technology, exponentially expanding. We don't even know where AI is going to go yet, but it's an example of a breakthrough in computer coding, and we hope that it'll have a human face to it And then global ecumenism. Yes, if you want to, you can point to the jihadists or the radical elements in any religion, the extremes in any religion, but behind that, all over the planet, are other people who see beyond being stuck in one form. And if you're really worshiping the transcendent mystery, you can't cling to any image or any teaching anyway. You can follow it, you can love it, you can embody it, but you realize it's not any better than anybody else. You have to look at the whole picture, or as I like to say, when the prayer goes through the roof of the temple, the mosque, or the church, God can't tell which denomination it came from anymore, because God doesn't buy from retailers, only from wholesalers. And then the social justice and liberation movements that are happening all over the world. Non-governmental, sometimes governmental, but mostly from the people, from the streets, from the marginalized aspects of any society, people rising up, say, I'm not going to take it anymore, I'm mad as hell, and making change. Hopefully they can do it through means that don't cause violence and hurt other people. But that's one of the things about overcoming tyranny and people who have guns. Just remember, violence is the unnecessary use of force. There's other uses of force that are necessary. And then we get to, how do you carry hope versus sadism, pessimism, and cynicism? How do you hold on? Of course, pain does end, just like spring does come. So you have to hang in there and even utilize pain as a way to grow, because pain is an indication something is wrong. And then we have to acknowledge the gay and lesbian movements, the gender fluid people. They've all stood up for human rights and made us look at differences between us, but differences that should not divide us. Even though that's not my bag, right? I can respect you and even defend you. And so they've really opened up the bandwidth of what we allow, what becomes a new cultural norm, and the struggles that those people face by being so different than the majority of people. Then, of course, there's the internet, educational transformation at a global level, the amount of stuff that we have available to us to learn, to study, to love, to appreciate, to share, and new technologies coming out on an ongoing basis. This is part of the Aquarian age, the digital age, the space age. Can we benefit from it instead of use it to troll and slander people? Most important, this connects us all to the great adventure, to the vision of planetary unity. And of course, it starts at a local level. Instead of self being the interiorization of spirit on an individual level, how about self as the individualization of community? To be means to be related. We need each other. We have to depend on each other, count on each other. And instead of saying other people are not trustworthy, are you trustworthy? If you're trustworthy, then you know that trust exists. Trust is possible in this world. And you lead by example, and then you'll be magnetized and attracted to other people who are trustworthy as well. And so that's it for today. Keep magnetizing and bring your trust out to everybody. By the way, there are 2 spaces open for the Mexico vacation, February 21st to 28th. Let me know. I'd love to have you join us. Otherwise, have a great day. Speak to you soon.